Now, our feature presentation.
Hey guys, ECW fan, the collector here. And yes, this is the Heroes 2026 Con Hall. And if you've seen the video, me and Jason went to Heroes Con 2026, Heroes Comic Convention, Charlotte, North Carolina, home of Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. Yes, it was a good time to go. I ain't been over, it's been years since I went down there. And it just feels so good to go. And sadly, we couldn't get the rest of the A team. Jason, I think Chris and Eddie was busy, had something going on. But me and Jason went, and as you saw in the video, Jason concentrated on signatures, and he got a couple new things. Me, I basically wanted to take a lot of pictures, get around the con, try to find some cool stuff in the dollar bins, hit the 50-cent bins. So, I went through and I nailed down some runs of books that I didn't think I would ever get. And I'm pretty happy with what I found. And I hit a big key, and I showed it to Jason, and I couldn't believe the price I paid for it. But let's get to some of the stuff I picked up, okay? Now, there's over 100 and some issues here that I picked up. And we'll just go ahead and go through them all, okay? So, let's go ahead and start. Let's start with some Spider-Man. Because he's a good man. Spider-Man is a good man, as Chris would say. Now, one of the ones I found at the $2 bin was a lot of trade paperbacks, and I got a couple of them, and this is one of them. This is Amazing Spider-Man by J. Michael Straczynski, JMS. I'll just call him JMS because I'll butcher that last name. And this run, I could actually went to Romita Jr. and had it signed, actually, when I think about it, but maybe next year I'll do it. But this collects 35 through 39 of Amazing Spider-Man, that run where he reveals her identity to Aunt May, where she finds out who he is by, well, he don't really reveal it himself, she discovers it. And she realized she always knew. And it was a nice little reveal there. I thought it was nice. Now, Classic Spider-Man Volume 1. They had some issues, but I had almost all the issues that, I needed in the 300s there. But I wish they had a few that I could have had, but I found one, and it's Amazing Spider-Man 368. And this one actually has his parents. Peter Parker's parents returning in the early 90s. And it come to reveal that they wasn't his parents. They were just doppelgangers made. They was created, or people posing as them, and it sent Peter into a rage. And it was it was a nice thing. This was it wasn't a nice arc, but it was something different. And but yeah, this was I think this was right after Maximum Carnage, or might have been before Maximum Carnage. I can't remember. But yeah, my mind's hazy on when this issue took place. But that happens when you get old. Now, I did pick up this nice one shot in the dollar bin. This was The Amazing Spider-Man: The Sins of Norman Osborn, and Jason said this was a good story. See, Jason reads more modern comics than me. I just pick them up when I can find them cheap, and this was a nice one shot from what he said. Now we're gonna get into some highly detestable books. In the in the 2020s, there was a run of Spider-Man that pretty much everybody online says is god awful. Well, two of these books came out of the $5 bins. One came out of the dollar bin. And I'll go ahead and show them in order. This come out of the $5 bin. It is the Amazing Spider-Man #1. And this has the first appearance of Paul. Yes, a character so created just to make Marvel fans angry. And they could have actually told cool stories with Paul and actually had a good resolution with his character. But they didn't. They just basically wanted to pretty much spite fans, and they pretty much gave any goodwill they could have had from it. They could have had something there, but when you're not thinking about something that could be good, and just chose to tell bad stories, that's what happens. I always laughed about Paul because I knew he was a bad character. I knew he was just a terrible character that just created just to tick off fans, and it didn't work. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 3, which would come out of the dollar bin, which I picked up because I like the cover. I love the cover with Tombstone. I thought that was kind of cool. Then I love anniversary issues. And this came out of the $5 bin, and I love anniversary issues. I've got every anniversary issue of Spider-Man 100, 200, 300, 400. You know, I've been around for a while, and I had to get Amazing Spider-Man 900. This is the very end issue. I don't know what the regular cover is, but yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 900. I went ahead and picked it up. I was like, okay. It had 875, and I put it back. I was like, eh. I think that was the Nick Spencer run, which everybody liked, and everybody was like, why couldn't we have that again? I think people have said that online, but I said, don't you understand, people? These comic companies are out now just to tick you off, and and then they worry why sales is down. That's probably the funniest thing. I can't believe that this book didn't sell. Well, maybe we should have done that. And they'll probably fix it eventually with Spider-Man. I don't know, but I stopped collecting the main books after so long because I got, I used to collect modern books, but now these are just basically ones I find cheap and just for buys. Now, moving to DC, and I did find some cool stuff in the dollar bin there. I found this one in the dollar bin. This was the Trial of the Flash. Now, this was a hot debated storyline at the time because this one was actually considered that it dragged on too long and it actually hurt the Flash title and Barry Allen. Okay, this is 342. This is the issue I needed. Now, back in the day, Flash was a popular type because it's a sci-fi blend. It had like a sci-fi slant. Well, Flash decided to do a new thing, and they tried to become, do more serious storytelling, and it just alienated those readers. And the Trial basically just pissed them all away. It went too long because the Trial is basically spun off events where Barry kills the Reverse Flash because he's going to kill his new girlfriend. He saves her life by killing the Reverse Flash, but everybody thinks he just stone cold murdered the guy. That's what the Trial was from. But sticking with Flash and Barry Allen, we've got Dawn of the DC, Flash number 1. I don't know if this is Barry Allen or not. I know could be Wally. I know Wally come back, but I don't know what's going on. But here's Flash number 2. He had issues 3, 4, and 5, and I just went with these 2 issues. I mean, I said, well, let's see what these 2 issues are in dollar bin. Let's see what we can do there. Now we're going to get to Superman. And I got a lot of Superman. And, dude, one booth was nothing but 50-cent Superman. And half these books come out of the 50-cent bin. And I'm going to go ahead and show some of these off. Okay, so this come out of the 50-cent bin. This is Superman Unchained. And I think I had this issue, by the way. I just picked it up because it's a cool cover, like a cool retro, old school cover. I think this is the classic post-crisis cover. Yeah, that's Scott Snyder. Yeah, that was in the 50-cent bin. Here's another one that was in the 50-cent bin. Superboy the comic book. Welcome to the Fan Zone, Superboy. I hope you've enjoyed your stay because it's over. I thought this was a cool cover. For 50 cents, I was like, yeah. Superboy, the comic book, was based off the series, the early 90s series. And this is a kind of cool issue. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. I mean, 50 cents, you can't beat it. Now, this mini-series that I'm going to pull out here all came out of the 50-cent bin as well. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this because I've got issue 1 of this. And I've got Man of Steel number 2. This was written by Bendis. Man of Steel number 4. Man of Steel number 3. 2, 3, 4. Man of Steel number 5. And Man of Steel number 6. So the whole series now, I've got the whole series. And I was like, man, for 50 cents a piece, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and jump on those, you know, get that whole series finished down. Now, here's some more stuff that I got out of the 50-cent bin. And, because like I said, they had 90s on up of Superman. If you was a Superman collector, if you wanted Superman books, this one booth, this guy had everything from the 1990s all the way up to the 2020s. And I just went through and just picked out cool stuff that I wanted and cool stuff that I needed, like this one, Adventures of Superman 604 for Superman versus Ultraman. I was like, okay, for 50 cents, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna jump on that. I picked up these 2 issues of Superman. This is during the reign of the Superman, and I always wanted this iconic cover. And I was like, okay, this is a cool cover by Jerry Ordway. It's Superman number 79 with the Cyborg Superman. I thought this was a cool cover. And then I went ahead and I got number 80. So, not bad for 50 cents a piece. Like I said, it was just, you know, a lot of this stuff was in there. And I'm going to pull out some Action Comics here. And here's some Action Comics that was in there. And like I said, this guy had a ton of stuff. You could have probably went through the whole, you could have probably had a whole new run of Dawn of DC from this guy's booth for Superman. And I think I might have got it in the video, but I was like, man, this is a cool booth. But, okay. I got Action Comics number 967 with Superman and Lex Luthor. I thought this is a cool cover. I got Action Comics number 1060 with John Constantine. And I think Eddie recommended this book to me a long time ago, and I put it back at where we was at together. So I went ahead and got it, Eddie. I finally got it. I got it at Heroes Con because it was 50 cents. And these 2 issues, which I thought was kind of cool, because this has the Legion of Doom in it, and Lex Luthor. I got Action Comics 1018. And Action Comics 1019. So yeah, like I said, 50 cents a piece, man. You can't really deny that. That's a hell of a deal, you know. If you're looking for runs of Superman, this guy had it in his booth, and it really shocked me how many books of Superman I could, you know. I was like, I put so many back. I was like, I don't need this one. I don't need this one. And actually, I'm not done yet. He had one more for the 50 cents, and this was the end of the new 52 Superman. This was Superman number 52. And it actually has the old crossover system from the 90s there. And this was actually the death of the Superman from the new 52 universe, from that universe. Or the Prime universe or whatever it was. Now we're going to get to some dollar bin stuff. And these all come out of the dollar bins. And these are classic Superman issues. And I'm going to go ahead and show one of the new ones off. This was another alternate cover of Action Comics 1000. This makes my 4th or 5th cover I found. Because I've hunted them down. So this is a nice little Action Comics 1000. But these issues are from the 80s. Well, one's from the 70s. And this is Superman number 282, which had a cool cover, which I think I took a picture of it and out of the dollar bin on this one. This was kind of cool. I was looking for some more classic Superman, but he had them into 300s, but I already got so many of the issues, so I was like, darn. Okay. I got Superman number 387 from the 80s. And this one I think Eddie has. And I think I was trying to work out a deal with him on a trade on it. But he likes this. This has the classic Lex in his battle suit. Classic Lex. And here it is. 380. This is 386. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get that for the dollar, out of the dollar bin. So that was kind of cool. But there was a lot of stuff. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff. And, okay, another book that I series that I've picked up, it was Hellblazer. There's 300 issues of Hellblazer in the whole, but that John Constantine Hellblazer from Vertigo, the whole title, 1 to 300. Well, I've got about 85% of that run, almost done. The only ones I need is the issues in the 100s up. And I picked up some nice issues here. I picked up some nice ones. I picked up like 6 issues. So, plus a trade paperback. Let's show you the trade paperback first. I picked up Freezes Over. This Brian Azzarello run. This collects God, I can't remember. I think it's 167 to 157 to 163 of the Hellblazer art here. And yeah, this is, I've got so many issues in this, but I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. You know, a trade paperback for $2, why not? Especially Hellblazer. So here we go. Here's Hellblazer number 136 by Warren Ellis. 136. I got Hellblazer number 101 with a weird cover. Like I said, I went through and I just notched every Hellblazer I needed. I got issue number 110 of Hellblazer. I got issue number 134. And this, I think this is when Ellis come back. This is Haunted. This is when he come back to the title. Or I think this is, I think this is his first run on the title, actually. I'm sorry. I always can mix up Warren Ellis and Garth Ennis. I always mix those two guys up for some weird reason. I don't know why. It's just a weird habit I have. I mix those guys up. I picked up a Hellblazer number 164. And this is High Water. And at the time, I think this is part of where John Constantine comes to America. And he's like visiting America at the time and raising hell at the time. And I got Hellblazer number 112. I think this is 112. I think it's 112. Yeah. So, nice way to fill in some issues of Hellblazer. Eventually, I plan to get all 300 issues. I've got all the key issues of Hellblazer, so I don't really need any of the keys. I just need to fill in the run. So eventually, I'll get that run filled in. I'll collect the whole 300 issue series. So let's get on to some more comics here and end part 1 of this, because it's going to go a little bit long. I got a Punisher Annual number 1 that come out of a $1 bin, and or a Punisher Annual number 4. I'm sorry, Punisher Annual number 4. I don't know. I guess my eyes was bad, but I do like this. It's got Captain America, Daredevil, and the Punisher in this. I looked. I don't have this annual, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get that for $1. That looks pretty cool. Now, another thing I found in a $1 bin was this Overstreet Comic Book Price Update magazine, and this looked kind of cool. Plus, it has Jay and Silent Bob on the cover. So I was like, I got to get Jay and Silent Bob. And on the back, it actually has the price guide. I got this price guide right here. I've got this one. I had one guy actually give me a bunch of price guides. I like them. I like the old price guides. I bought a couple off Robert when he used to sell them. You know. Now, I was in a booth, and I looked over, and this lady had bought. She was in a $1 bin up from me, because the way the one booth was, there's $1 bins on one side, in the middle was the $2 bins, and at the end was another $1 bin. Well, when she come over, I noticed that she had this series in her hand. I was like, hey, it looks interesting. I actually remember watching a video on this, and they actually made a sequel just recently to Crisis on Infinite Earths. It is actually called Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. So there's Dark Crisis number 1. And I got that variant because I'm a variant guy. You know, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get the variant of that. So, and I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get that. So I went ahead and got that. I got this Dark Crisis number 3. I think this is another variant. And this is like a homage to the original Crisis. And the character here, Pariah, plays a major part in this series. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get that. I got Dark Crisis number 2. Some of these I got regular covers of, and some of them I got the alternate covers, you know, the variants. Because the variants look pretty cool. I got the Dark Crisis number 4 with the Flash's mask. And Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. I got Dark Crisis number 5. I can tell this is a variant. And I couldn't believe that they had the whole series there, because I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get this. Dark Crisis number 6. Now, these all come out $1 bin, right? And I'm like, crap, I know there's 7 issues to this series. I know it's a 7-issue series, but I'm not going to be able to find it. And I looked all over, because I seen how she had all 7 books, right? And I'm like, I go to another dollar bin, I'm looking around, and I almost freaked out, because they actually had Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths number 7 with this cool cover of Superman and Batman. So I've got this whole series. I got the whole series in one go. I was like, you don't normally see that, you know. You're like, okay, that's cool. I was like, I got that whole series there. That's a nice little go-to deal. Oh, let me go ahead and pull out some more stuff here. Now, I did get some older books, and this one actually came out of a $2 bin. I think this come out of that guy's $2 bin. I went ahead and picked it up for $2 because I love this cover. I mean, it's in immaculate shape. It's a beautiful white cover, and I needed it. You know, I need this issue in my Adventure Comics run. It's issue number 426 of Adventure Comics, and this is a beautiful cover, beautiful shape. I said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Now back to a dollar bin. I pulled out the Kingdom number 1. I don't think I have this one. I don't think I have the Kingdom Come special of the Kingdom. This was a sequel, one shot to the series, Kingdom Come. Now, I pulled out some Captain America books. 3 of these actually came out of a dollar bin, and the last one a $2 bin, which I actually knocked out another missing issue in the run that I needed, because I had been looking for this issue for so long. And if you're watching it, you'll see it. I got Captain America number 375. Come out of a dollar bin. I needed this last issue for Streets of Poison, and I actually almost ordered it off Mile High. But I'm glad I waited, because I was like, okay, I like getting the book in a dollar bin more than paying a couple bucks for it. So that's kind of cool. I picked up Captain America number 276. I had 277, which I got at the Radford Toy Show, and I needed this one, so that was kind of cool. That was like a month or two ago. I think it's about a month ago. You'll see the video. And I actually got Captain America number 273 with Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos, which is kind of cool. Those come out of the dollar bin. Now, this next issue actually came out of the $2 bin, and I just almost did I almost wanted to jump around and dance, right? Because I needed this issue. It's Captain America number 368, and that's Magneto. Yeah. I had 367, I just didn't have 368. So I was very happy to get this issue. I was like, okay, that made my day. Heroes Con, you made my day. Now we're going to see some 50 Cent issues. And this come out of this bin with Superman. But these issues were all special for the fact they're part of 0 Hour. 0 Hour had always those famous last pages where they went to white. And I was like, and these books they wasn't really popular. They all got canceled. The longest one I'll show you at the end. Okay. I got Anima number 7. This was the part of the 0 Hour. Anemia. Her title ended, I think, maybe a couple issues later after this. She didn't last long. She was actually killed off by Dr. Manhattan. Or actually, I think, no, she's killed off by, I think Anemia was killed off by a character from the, God, I can't think of his name, but it wasn't Dr. Manhattan, it was somebody else. I mixed her up with the Trinity, the Pandora, but she was killed off by that villain, God, it starts with, I can't remember his name. He was a Justice League villain. This league, I think Grant Morrison created him, and he killed off her. Another book I got was 0 Hour, The Death of the Outsiders. And the Outsiders title, I got its last issue. I think it only lasts like a few more issues after this. It ended, so it wasn't that good. And finally, the last one I got is 0 Hour, The Dark Stars, number 24. And this one actually ran, I think, until 36 or 38. And I actually got its last issue. But yeah, I had to get all these 0 Hour issues. They had more of them, but I already had them. I'm like, okay, I like the fade to white. And they had the 0 issues, but I was like, I don't really want to get the 0 issues of these characters, even if there are 50 cents. But yeah, that's the end of part 1. Part 2 will be coming in a couple weeks. I got to go through them, and it'll be a couple weeks. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the Heroes Con video. Thanks for watching and liking the video. Drop a comment, subscribe if you wish. Till next time.